We get ready for the second half here in Foxborough in the snow with the Patriots leading the Cardinals by the score of 31-0 as we check out the first half numbers. Cardinals had no yards in the first quarter.
a banner second quarter when they got all the way up to 55, but when it's 31-0, I think you expect halftime stats to kind of line up like that. So
really a dominating performance in the first half by the Patriots, who still could win the AFC East with 2 victories and help.
Well, they're doing what they need to do. Take care of your business. You need a little bit of help, but you have to take care of yours first, and they did that in the first half. And Arizona, my goodness. Talk about a team trying to find their confidence, regain that swagger to come out and play a half like that. Boy, this trip is just completely backfired on them. And I agree with Jimmy Johnson, his comments at halftime. Get the guys who are important off that field. Don't leave them out there. It is what it is over the last month for this team. And really the only thing they can look back to is beating St. Louis, a team that they should beat. There's no excuse for this team not to beat them, but anybody that's been playoff caliber, 21-0, 28-0, 31-0. Oh boy.
Our first look at Neil Rackers today, the Cardinals place kicker. Kickoff taken by Sammy Morris. Remember, the Patriots won the toss but deferred at the start of the game, so they get the ball to begin this second half.
One of the big differences in that first half was the production at running back for the New England Patriots versus the Arizona Cardinals. Sammy Morris on the big screen, Lamont Jordan with a couple of touchdown runs, and then Kevin Falk with a touchdown on a pass reception. Arizona could not match New England in their production at the running back spot.
A look at the numbers. Jordan with the 2 touchdowns. Heath Evans in at fullback as the Patriots start from their own 24-yard line. Off the play fake. First reception of the day for Randy Moss. Moss picks up a first down and more. Down the sidelines. Moss is going to take it all the way 76 yards for the touchdown.
Everybody remembers what the field looked like at the end of the first half. This crew's done a great job getting this field ready for the second half. Call a play that you can take advantage of the condition of the field. They come out, run a quick screen, get everybody running. Randy Moss, untouched. Unbelievable. Little screen outside. Logan Mankins gets outside. Absolutely no contain. Nobody to force Randy Moss back inside.
11th touchdown of the season for Moss. The longest pass play of the year for the Patriots. Castle, 76 yards to Moss, 38-0. New England. 11th touchdown of the season for Randy Moss. He is now 16 yards shy of his 9th 1,000-yard season. Kickoff is dropped by Preston, and then he's dropped by Antoine Spann. So Kurt Warner will start the second half for the Cardinals.
Why is that, Goose?
He must be making snowballs.
Or his equipment froze up.
There you go, guys. Sorry about that, Moose. Just down here dealing with the equipment situation. A lot of things freezing up. Talked to Ken Wisenhunt. He said Warner was going to go in. He was going to see how he was going to do in the first series and then make a decision after that. But he says we need to get a little bit of momentum. And like we talked about, Moose, you need a little bit of momentum and confidence going into the postseason. He wants to get him out there. He thinks the conditions are a little bit better than they were in the first half. So we'll see what happens.
I know. I think right now they're walking that fine line of reinforcing the lack of confidence. You put him in for one series, you go 3 and out, then you bring him out. To me, at this point now, it's not about gaining confidence. It's about keeping your key players healthy. Anything could happen on this series, on this snap.
Second down and 9 after the 1-yard pickup by Edgerrin James on first down. Warner's pass intended for Fitzgerald. Ellis Hobbs on the coverage.
The conditions down here right now, Moose, it's not snowing, it's sleeting, there's rain, it's freezing rain, and actually the conditions on the field is starting to freeze up a little bit. You know, there's a coating of like wetness on the top. It's starting to freeze a little bit. So right now it's okay, but it could get worse.
Thanks, Goose. 5 straight incompletions for Warner. Third down and 9. Warner's pass is short. He was looking for early Doucette. So for the 6th time today, the Cardinals go 3 and out.
That's amazing. 25 all season and 6 today.
We mentioned earlier the Cardinals, the 2nd highest scoring team in the league. They have not scored fewer than 14 points in any game this season. Shut out so far today. Wes Welker waiting back at his own 40. End over end kick by Graham. Taken at the 42 by Welker. Welker out to the 48-yard line. There is a flag.
Now you start to wonder about New England's approach here in the second half at 38-0.
Holding number 15 of the receiving team during the kick. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down, New England. Timeout.
That's Kelly Washington.
You know, they've still got to win next week and have a little bit of help. So, you know, do you start thinking, hey, let's get Matt Castle on the side. Let's get Randy Moss on the sideline. Let's get Wes Welker on the sideline.
We'll see. Early third quarter here in Foxborough. Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa. Patriots lead the Cardinals 38-0. Castle to the air on first down. The catch is made by the fullback, Heath Evans. And Evans is finally forced out of bounds in Cardinals territory at the Arizona 41 after a gain of 27 yards.
It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You flip it out to Randy Moss. He's gone for a touchdown. Now Heath Evans. I mean, look, there's nobody on the outside to prevent these big plays down the sideline.
Castle approaching 300 yards. He's now at 296. 3 wide receivers. Morris.
You know, Arizona
inside the 40. Excuse me, Goose.
That's okay. Arizona at some point, Moose, just has to say, okay, listen, the score, we can't even look at the score. You got to play for pride. I mean, right now they're looking around wondering, you know, what's going on here. I mean, you know, you can't go and get pounded like that and then just like not react. You got to come out here and do something about it. Make a tackle, you know, some kind of impact. Have some respect. I mean, it's getting to the point of where, you know, just throw the towel in and walk off the field. Gotta come out here and play, because I know New England right now wants to go and pound the ball still at them.
Timeout called by Castle. 2nd and 9 when we return. 38-0 Pats. The Jets, the Dolphins, and the Patriots all with records of 9 and 5. Kansas City leads Miami by 4 at the half. Jets in Seattle later today. So things falling into place so far for the Patriots. 2nd down and 9. Castle is over 300 yards for the 3rd time this season as he finds Randy Moss for a gain of 13.
The NFC West needs to take a look at what the AFC East did last year and kind of use that as their rallying cry, because the New England Patriots, you see what they have to do to get into the playoffs because of what the Jets and Dolphins have done this season. 2 teams that had terrible seasons last year, but were able to turn it around very quickly.
Dolphins won only 1 game last season. Morris up the middle. Another first down. Sammy Morris picks up 11.
Sammy Morris does a great job of being patient, waiting for the puller to come around and lead him through the hole. Really nice job by Sammy Morris. Watch him here. There he is in the backfield. Goes, gets the ball. The puller comes around. Nice. Mark Levord, great job opening the hole, getting downfield. I mean, he slips a little bit right there, but that's nice being patient.
Morris again on first down. As we check in with Kurt Menefee. Kurt.
A game slightly warmer and more competitive than yours. Tampa Bay hosting San Diego. Jeff Garcia scrambles to keep this play alive and finds Antonio Bryant wide open. 71 yards on the score. Bucks have their first lead of the day, 24-20. Keep in mind, a Bucks win coupled with an Atlanta loss later today against Minnesota, and Tampa Bay is in the playoffs. Kenny and Moose and Deuce.
All right, thanks, Kurt. Bucks 6-0 at home this season. Castle to Welker. Cardinals finally bring Welker down after a gain of 6. Check out the NFC wildcard race. Bucks and Falcons 9-5. Eagles, of course, with that tie game in Cincinnati, they are 8-5-1.
A couple of games later today on Fox with some big playoff implications. Atlanta, Minnesota, big game, and then Philadelphia. If they can find a way in, if these other teams that are in the mix, Atlanta, Tampa Bay, if these teams don't take care of their business and those Eagles get into the playoffs, that is a dangerous team right now. They're playing as well as they have all season.
Donovan's a man reborn, Moose.
Well, you know, the Twins are born, his head is clear, and he is playing well.
3 consecutive victories for the Eagles. Castle picks up the first down on the sneak, and what a story. You know, you mentioned earlier Tom Brady played only 15 snaps, injured week 1 against Kansas City. Castle never started a game in college, never started a game in the pros. He backed up Carson Palmer. He backed up Matt Leinart at USC. Did not start a game since his senior year in high school. And we heard what Howie Long said at halftime. He said Castle is going to be printing more money than the Feds come free agency.
Well, you know, the great thing about it is his approach. You know, just the belief that his opportunity will come. And I loved his response. You know, as the backup quarterback, everybody tells you you're just 1 snap away. You know, Carson's out there, but you're 1 snap away. And it's Matt Leinart, and you're 1 snap away. And then Tom Brady, and you're 1 snap away. And he's like, you know, I was 1 snap away for almost a decade before I finally got my opportunity. And he was very complimentary of the entire New England Patriot organization for having the confidence in him, a guy who threw 33 passes in college, to draft him in the 7th round.
But like you said, Moose, he got his opportunity and he made the best of it. He came out.
Start number 71, offense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's on Holstein.
And now his stock has risen, like Howie mentioned in the pregame show. And, you know, everybody's eyes are on him right now.
You know, the big thing is when they were there together, obviously, you know, Matt Leinart, you know, he went where he did. There's Matt Castle together. You know, I liked Matt's comments. You know, he talked about Matt Castle, Matt Leinart did, and said, you know, I was a year younger than him. They opened it up to competition. And Matt Castle made me a better quarterback because that competition for the starting job went late into the year. And then Matt Leinart always felt, you know, I had to play well every week, because Matt Castle was so talented that if I had a bad game, I wasn't going to have an opportunity to be a starter. He was that good behind me, and obviously the year that they had and the skill set that Matt Leinart had around him, Matt Castle never got an opportunity there at USC after Carson left.
Competition brings the best out of pros, man.
The reception by Goose, and we talked to Bill Belichick about Matt Castle. He said Matt had a tremendous spring workout prior to the draft. Belichick and his staff spoke with Pete Carroll, the former Patriots head coach, who said it was a very, very close competition between Leinart and Castle, and Matt Leinart wound up not only winning the job, but winning the Heisman Trophy.
But you know, Scott Pioli and everybody here in the Patriots organization being smart and looking at that situation, Matt Castle, don't let him get to free agency. He had a connection at Tennessee with Norm Chow, the offensive coordinator for USC. There was a connection with the Cincinnati Bengals and Carson Palmer being there. New England didn't have a connection to Matt Castle, so they felt, you know, let's take him in the 7th round as opposed to letting him get to free agency and then maybe getting into a bidding war with somebody because he feels more comfortable going where he has a connection. So again, just little things, thinking ahead, you know, knowing what the right way to approach a situation was, and it's paid huge dividends for the Patriots with him as their backup.
Well, if you're a general manager right now, Moose, and you have Matt Castle and his contract's up, you have Tom Brady coming back off an injury, what do? Do you pay Matt Castle, or do you know, say, hey, listen, we have to let you go and get Tom Brady back?
Well, Tom is the guy. It's going to be interesting to see what Scott Pioli does playing this thing out. Great position to be in, but I don't know if I don't want to make that call.
Hi, this is Staff Sergeant Talia Ferguson. I'm in Joint Base Balad. I just wanted to give a shout out to my family and my husband back home. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and happy 30th anniversary, baby. I hope to see you guys again soon. Love you. Bye.
Wow, she's giving up Christmas, New Year's, and the anniversary. Tough. Thank you for all you do.
Happy holidays to all of the troops. Gostowski kicks off with his field goal prior to the break. He ties Tony Franklin's franchise record, 32 successful field goals in one season. Franklin did it back in '86 as Reston looks for running room, and he's tackled by Heath Evans.
They have been dominant in every single phase of the game this afternoon, the New England Patriots. Offensively, defensively, and even special teams. I mean, Wes Welker's given them great field position. Their coverage units have been excellent. Gostkowski's kicking field goals.
Kurt Warner comes out for another series. Cardinals start from their own 12-yard line. Now trailing 41-0. Warner throws. Urban, the intended receiver. Hobbs on the coverage. Kurt Menefee.
Well, the battle for the top spot in the AFC keeps going back and forth between Pittsburgh and Tennessee. This is Chris Johnson, the rookie, scoring from 21 yards out, and it puts the Titans back on top 17-14 in the third quarter. Kenny Moose and Deuce.
Thanks, Kurt. Both teams have clinched their divisions, jockeying for that top seed and home field advantage throughout. Giants and Carolina will battle tonight for the #1 seed in the NFC. Warner's pass incomplete. Intended for Preston as Matt Leinart gets loose on the Arizona sideline.
Yeah, I would have had him getting loose in the last series, so he was ready to go in this series. With the elements and then the protection up front, Kurt Warner hasn't had that much of an opportunity to get anything going positively. And we've been wondering, how you balance that all afternoon, establishing that confidence, regaining your swagger going into the playoffs with the potential of Kurt getting hurt, or maybe reinforcing the doubt that this team could have.
Timeout, New England. That's their second charge. Timeout, 30-second timeout.
Patriots defense has forced 6 3-and-outs. Cardinals with only 56 yards of offense as Matt Ware heads to the Arizona locker room. You would think this would be the last series for Kurt Warner today.
Well, I thought the last one would have been. So, at least Matt is up throwing the ball right now. So that gives you every indication that this is going to be the last one.
Yeah, he should have been out that first series.
And once Randy Moss catches it and goes for the touchdown, even if I wanted to put Kurt in at that time, I might have said, hey, Matt, get loose as fast as you can. You're going.
Cardinals know they will host a playoff game. They will finish with either the number 3 or 4 seed in the NFC. Cardinals franchise will host a playoff game for the first time since 1947 when they were the Chicago Cardinals, and they hosted Philadelphia in the NFL championship game at Comiskey Park. It's their first division title since '75, their first playoff berth since '98. Warner on 3rd and 10. Dumps it off. Bobbled by Fitzgerald. There is a flag.
Holding number 76 offense. Penalties decline. 4th down.
Looked like Kurt could almost ran for the first down on that one instead of flipping it over to Fitzgerald.
Yeah, well, flip it to him and stay in there. You don't want him down in that secondary taking a shot.
If he slides, he'll probably get slide 15 or 20 yards on this ice skating rink out here.
Guys, 9 straight incompletions for Warner. Worst streak of his career as far as consecutive incomplete passes.
You mentioned, Kenny, some of the superlatives that this team has accomplished this year. There's a lot of firsts that Arizona has done. It's been a positive season, but right now They don't have that confidence. They haven't been able to handle those successes.
Welker across midfield. Midway through the third quarter. All New England today. Three teams in the AFC East, 9-5, and terrific news for the Patriots and their fans. The Chiefs now lead the Dolphins by 7. 2 Patriot wins and 1 loss by the Jets, 1 loss by the Dolphins as Morris picks up a first down, and the Patriots would win the AFC East for the 6th consecutive year. There's a flag after Morris gained 19.
Holding, number 71, 10-yard penalty. Excuse me, 77, 7-7, 10 yards, repeat first down.
That's the right tackle, Nick Kazher.
He's inside the framework.
No, that's outside the framework. Come on, man. You offensive guys always looking for some way to get away with something. Looked like you had wings there, man. You got to keep it in there, near the pecs.
What's the framework there? What is the framework?
The framework's just inside the arms, not outside the arms.
It was inside the arms?
Get out of here. He had the shoulder pad was straight up in the air. Are you kidding me?
Settle down, guys.
He's up there all dry in the booth, and he wants to go and get the offense to get a little break.
Let's see. Right when he breaks out here, right there. He gets that handoff. Look at that. But you can see both the numbers. You can see both the numbers. Look at that framework. Inside. Inside. Watch as he spins. There it is. Inside. That's right. That's right. And then to the ground. As long as...
The framework is in here. This is the framework. You have your hands in here. Out here is not the framework. He was out here. What, are you kidding me?
The 5 and the 8 were in the exact same place. They never moved from the back.
You can't have the hand on the outside like this and drive. That's where you're going to get called. As long as they're inside here near the pecs, you're fine.
They were right on the pecs.
Oh,
look at him right there. There's one pec, and then watch him adjust this one right here. He gets it back on. It get off there for a second, just for a fraction of a second, and then he got it right back on.
Come on, the shoulder pad was going straight up in the air.
Had a nice job by our Lou Tribbiani, used as a prop by Goose.
I'd throw a snowball up there at you, but you're about 70 yards away. I'll come up there.
You're going to get it. You throw one up there, you're going to have about 100 coming back.
My shoulder will be up there, too. Dislocate.
Castle complete to Welker. Kurt Menefee, what did you think?
I think I'm just going to show you the San Diego-Tampa Bay highlight. Here's the Chargers' Phillip Rivers. His 3rd touchdown pass of the day, 2nd to Antonio Gates. San Diego's got a 27-24 lead in Tampa. And remember, if San Diego wins its last 2 and Denver loses its last 2, then San Diego wins the AFC West. Kenny Moose and Goose.
Thanks, Kurt. On first down, Lamont Jordan. Goose threatened to come up to the booth. He did come up week 16 last season in Buffalo.
Well, he had an excuse last year, week 16. That was some of the worst weather I've ever seen.
Oh, this isn't an excuse now, right?
But this isn't bad.
I'm standing over here in 4 feet of snow. My toes are frostbit, and you're up there nice and easy with your tie on and everything. I'm soaking wet. I think I might be over 300 pounds right now with all this wetness in my jacket.
So how is this day different than any other?
How much does that jacket weigh? Half a pound?
Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. You're going to be coming up to very soon.
2nd and 3, Jordan. And Lamont Jordan has a first down. Matt Castle has thrown for 334 yards in today's game. He told us yesterday, early in the season when he took over for Tom Brady, things were pretty stressful, more stressful than fun, but he's certainly having fun out there today.
Expectations. I mean, it's all about expectations, and look what he's done. I mean, that's why he's having fun now. Matt Castle, 21. The other 2 combined that he backed up his career at USC, only 3 total this year. So when you first get out there, the expectations that this organization has created and what Tom Brady has done at the position.
Welker, his 7th catch today. Not only did Matt Castle back up Carson Palmer, but Palmer was the best man at Matt Castle's wedding. They've remained close. Matt Leinart, as you mentioned, with complimentary things to say about Castle as Goose puts himself to good use here.
You guys never had to do this, right?
The more you can do, Tony.
Clean my own area over here and everything.
You know, just like when you were a player, the more you can do.
That's right. You're right. All right. Job security.
Oh, Lamont Jordan up the middle.
Can we go to Kurt for another update?
Nice throw, Tony. Take it away, Kurt.
Go ahead.
You guys have gotten down to showing Siragusa shoveling snow, huh? Anyway, Ricky Williams ties the game in Kansas City. They and Miami keep scoring back and forth. Right now, it's all even at 31. You know the playoff scenario, and something tells me that's not the only thing that Tony will be shoveling for the rest of the day. Kenny Wilson Goose.
Kurt, it's 41-0. If you've got something better to show or talk about in this game, I'll be happy to address it.
Second and 7. The toss to Morris. Well, speaking of Kurt, we all took a couple of shots at Kurt last week, but in case you missed it earlier today.
I can do anything I want. I'm on TV. That's the real me. Marley's going to help Jimmy with his picks.
How far I have fallen taking my pick from a dog now.
Hey, somebody remind Kurt, don't take your shirt off, ever. Not even when you're swimming, the beach, always keep it on. I'd rather shovel snow than have my shirt off, Kurt.
Things have deteriorated for us here in the third quarter at 41-0. Thanks for hanging in. Patriots send out the field goal unit. Gostowski 2 for 2 today, and if he connects here, he will set a new franchise record with 33 field goals in one season.
We are going to get an opportunity maybe to see Matt Leinart come out here and do what he could do. A lot of people want to see that, like myself.
Leinart has played in only 2 games this season in relief of Warner. And Gostowski now the new franchise record holder, his 33rd successful field goal. And the Patriots have scored on 8 of their 9 drives in today's game. Coming up next, many of you will see Donovan McNabb and the Philadelphia Eagles as they take on their division rivals, the Washington Redskins. McNabb 3-0 since his benching, 7 touchdown passes in those 3 games.
And also Brian Westbrook, he's gotten on a little bit of a roll also. So now you got your 2 big guns playing well for the Philadelphia Eagles. And there's what Brian Westbrook's been doing the last 3 games too. Almost 100 yards per game rushing, 6 touchdowns. Every time we do a Philadelphia game, all the defensive players, the defensive coordinator, we have to stop Westbrook.
Kurt told us about San Diego leading Tampa Bay, and that is good news for the Eagles. Chargers up 27-24.
Things really fallen for Philadelphia last night and then early today. New England, they've got the Dolphins tied up 31-31 with the Chiefs, so it's trying to tip in their favor. And then the Jets are later today.
Even if both the Jets and Dolphins do not each lose a game over these final 2 weeks, the Patriots with 2 wins would also be in good shape if the Ravens lose at home to Jacksonville next Sunday. Ravens winning in Dallas last night.
Boy, some bad tackling last night at the end of that game, Goose.
Especially late in the 4th quarter. Touchdown runs of 77 and 82 yards for the Ravens. Preston on the return. And he's upended as he crosses the 20 by Mike Richardson. So Matt Leinart, who has started 16 games for the Cardinals over the last 2 seasons, 11 starts in 2006, and then 5 last year before he suffered a broken collarbone. Leinart off the bench to replace Kurt Warner, who went 6 for 18. His last 9 pass attempts were incompletions. Tim Hightower in the backfield. 3:26 remaining, 3rd quarter. Patriots leading the Cardinals 44-0. Leinart handing it off to Hightower. And Hightower is met first by Vince Wilfork.
He is a force in there. Hey, we've talked about Arizona trying to establish the run, and Tony mentioned at the top that all the running backs, fullbacks, running backs were excited because they were going to be forced into position to have to run the football today. And one of the reasons they haven't had any success is Vince Wilfork in the middle. He's been dominant.
Looks like a true nose guard, too, having to play right over the center and not having help, having to play really against three guys, the center and both guards.
Looks like Leinart might be having problems hearing the signals called in from the sidelines as Vrabel goes down. Leinart yelled over at the sideline, then he took his helmet
Offside,
off.
unabated to the quarterback, number 50 of the defense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Unabated to the quarterback. I don't know if he could have got up and got to the quarterback. Now.
Leinart over for a chat with offensive coordinator Todd Haley.
You don't think he's going to get there, Goose?
No, he's trying. He's trying.
Leinart keeps taking that helmet off, Darrell, and putting it back on. So something's going on with the coach-to-quarterback communication system. Second down and 5. Empty backfield for the Cardinals, who have gained 56 yards of offense today. Leinart through the hands of Hightower.
Now, you know what? It's not working, so, get the signals from the side, the old-fashioned way.
Just call anything.
Yeah.
Call down. What's your favorite play? You got an excuse to the coach.
44.
Listen,
No, hey,
$9.99. Everybody down the field.
What were you thinking? My communication was down.
Yeah,
I just went with what I thought would work.
That's an opportunity. Yeah.
Empty backfield, third down and 5. Everybody out for the Cardinals as Leinart takes off, and he picks up a first down. That is the 4th first down for the Arizona Cardinals today.
Well, good job recognizing what was happening there. They're trying to set their protection on Mike Vrabel, and then when he moves to the outside, you heard the slide. So you've got one-on-one on the outside with Jarvis Green and Levi Brown. So understand that. Good job handling that snap, but you see a little space, get up there. Your protection had turned, your guy got beat one-on-one.
First and 10 from the 34. Leinart loses the football. And it's recovered by Hightower.
He's letting that get to him too much. He's really frustrated with the communication stuff.
You got to get focused in on what you're doing.
We saw the last snap. That's a heck of a job getting a hold of that one. But then on the very next play, just a kind of a routine play, the ball just kind of pops out of his hand.
He has gloves on too, Moose. I don't know if I like the glove situation. I think that the gloves get wet. I know my gloves were wet down here on the sideline, and it was slipping. And it looks like he's having a hard time holding on to the ball. I like the bare hand on the leather, so you could feel it. You could have a nice grip on it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
This animation domination gives the gifts that keep on giving with The Simpsons, King of the Hill, Family Guy, and American Dad. The animation domination celebration starts at 8/7 Central tonight on Fox. Viewer discretion is advised. Leinart hopes to have the problem worked out with the communication device in his helmet. New England Patriots lead the Arizona Cardinals 44-0. Patriots led 14-0 after one, 31-0 at the half. 3 touchdown passes for Matt Castle, who was a year ahead of Matt Leinart at USC. Leinart beat him out for the job, won a Heisman Trophy, drafted 10th overall by the Cardinals back in 2006. Second down and 18. Leinart over the middle, nearly intercepted. Fitzgerald did a nice job to knock it away from Deltha O'Neal.
Well, you're hoping once they got this field cleared that it would be a little bit better for the Arizona offense this second half. It's kind of stayed in good shape. Tony Tony, it's getting slick down there? I mean, it looks decent from up here, but it is slick.
You know what? It's still raining. It's not getting cold enough to go and form ice right now. You're getting little ice pellets down here, but it's the best conditions that I've seen down here so far today.
Well, Delco O'Neill ran that route for Larry Fitzgerald. He was running the in one step ahead of Larry Fitzgerald.
3rd down and 18. Leinart loses the football on the hit from Merriweather. And it's recovered by Jarvis Green. Brandon Merriweather, the first-round pick last year out of Miami, with his 2nd sack of the season. Jarvis Green recovers the Leinart fumble.
Shotgun snap, but you got a guy coming free right between the guard center gap. Now, when you're off the center, you don't have to hard call it. They brought more than they could block. It looked like between the gaps.
Yeah, Deuce Lutie, man, he's got to go and recognize somebody coming through them inside gaps. When you have a blitzer coming from the outside, the quarterback can see that and have a little bit of time outside to go and move around the pocket. But when he comes up on the middle like that, you got to take the guy who's going to be the biggest pain in the neck. And that was Lutie right there. You got to take him.
Lamont Jordan down to the 1. There is a flag.
Holding, number 84, offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
That's on the tight end, Watson.
Ben Watson, number 84. You see how the numbers all messed up on that one, Tony? The 6 is kind of sliding around to his rib cage, and the 5 is moving to the center.
That
was holding.
He's near the numbers.
No. That was a hold.
You got to have a meeting. You got to talk.
So the former offensive player, the fullback, thinks that one was a hold. The defensive player says no. Pass intended for Sammy Morris.
Sammy Morris took his eyes downfield before he had the catch.
Secure the catch first. We've never heard that in our lives, huh, Moose?
No.
Secure the catch first and then go and try to get extra yards.
Well, Lamont's got 2 touchdowns and Kevin Falk's got 1. He's the only one left out at the running back spot, so he's trying to sneak a peek and find out where he was going.
By the way, this is the 4th time this season the Patriots have scored at least 40 points. They've done it 3 of the last 5 games. 48 in Miami, 49 last week in Oakland, 41 earlier this season against Denver. Here's Morris. Morris down to the 11-yard line, and that should take us to the end of the 3rd quarter here in Foxborough. Miami and Kansas City are tied at 31, late 3rd. Patriots lead this game 44-0. Fox NFL Sunday will return after these messages. Never stop coaching, even at 44-0.
No, absolutely not. There's always something you can be better at.
3rd down and 7. 4 wide receivers. Castle from the shotgun. Castle's pass is bobbled, and Tyson DeVree thought he made the catch, but it's ruled an incomplete pass. The rookie out of Colorado. Let's see.
Nope.
Hit the ground.
Nice call by the officials.
It was good concentration. He was working on it.
So Kostowski out to attempt a 30-yard field goal. He is 3 for 3 today. Now 4 for 4. Kostowski headed to the Pro Bowl, extending the Patriots lead. It's now 47-0 New England. The Patriots lead is now 47-0. Bill Belichick shaking hands with Matt Castle, who was 20 for 36 today. 345 yards, 3 touchdowns. Kevin O'Connell, the rookie out of San Diego State, warming up on the New England sideline. Steve Preston on the return. Preston tackled shy of the 30. With the Patriots out on top, 47-0. Matt Leinart comes in for his second series. Largest margin of defeat in Cardinals franchise history, a 49-0 loss to the Chiefs in December of 2002. Cardinals second in the league, averaging 299 passing yards per game. That average will go down a bit following today's game.
4. Not good.
That pass nearly intercepted by Vince Red. And that 4 yards takes into account the yards lost via sacks. So 2nd and 10 upcoming. Cardinals, as Goose pointed out so eloquently in our open, had not played in snow since 1983, a game in St. Louis, where the Cardinals franchise was based through the '88 season. Snow was falling much heavier earlier today and throughout the first half. 2nd and 10. Leinart looking for Fitzgerald. Merriweather got a hand on it. Of course, one of the most famous games played in snow in league history took place in Foxborough across the street in December of 1982. Goose, that's your old coach, Ron Meyer.
There he is.
He directed the snowplow driven by Mark Henderson, who was out of prison on a work release program. Henderson cleared a spot on the field for John Smith. Patriots won the game 3-0. The next year, the NFL banned the use of snowplows, and the snowplow used that day by Mark Henderson is on display. It's hanging from the ceiling at the hall at Patriot Place, just outside Gillette Stadium.
That is awesome to go and have the snowplow in the little Hall of Fame that the Patriots have. That's
yeah, unless you were a Dolphin fan as a kid growing up. Yeah, it was a great thing.
Yeah, then you want to buy it, you want to go and demolish it.
Don Shula still bitter about the snowplow incident, and
I'm still bitter about it.
There's Robert Kraft, so instrumental in the success this franchise has had over the last decade and a half, constructing Patriot Place, which opened last year. Snowplows are allowed, of course, prior to the game and at halftime, just not during the game, to create a better opportunity for a field goal.
I love the idea of having a Hall of Fame for your organization incorporated into the stadium. And Bob Kraft has done it here. There's one at Lambeau Field.
Yeah,
Jerry
Green
Jones
Bay
is going to have one at the new Cowboy Stadium. I think it's a great idea because I just think that there's so many people that are fans of this game. And even some of the players that are playing the game, they don't understand the history of what the NFL is all about. Sometimes even their own franchise.
A backup wide receiver, the rookie Matthew Slater, is in at safety for the Patriots, and Leinart showing a nice touch, completing the pass to Jeremy Urban for a gain of 27, by far the longest play of the day for the Cardinals on offense.
As you pointed out, Kenny, a nice touch here. Jeremy Urban's got Patriot defenders all around him and great concentration. Because he's running right into Deltha O'Neal. You think Deltha thinks he's going to get it, and all of a sudden Jeremy stretches out and takes it away from him.
After every play, too, Matt Leinert's running over to the sideline to get the play. Coming back on right now, he's using his numbered on his plays on his wrist. So they're actually going and calling out 13 or 26, and he's looking on his wrist for the specific play that he has written down there.
Still having problems with the helmet communication.
Matt Wright he's done a heck of a job today. I mean, he has been in the backfield a number of times, knocking these quarterbacks around, whether it was Kurt Warner or now Matt Leinart, but Mike Wright, just number 99. How many times have we seen him back there, Goose?
He's been living in the backfield all day, and he's doing a great job. And one thing is on the screens that Arizona was throwing earlier, he actually went and rushed the passer and stayed with it and got to the passer before they can get the screen off. So that's a lot of quickness.
Leinart on 2nd and 10, deflected and picked off by Ellis Hobbs. His 3rd interception this year, the 9th of his career. Off the hands of Urban. Hobbs with the pick. $47-0 Patriots. Dolphins still tied with the Chiefs. 31 all early fourth quarter. Jets and Seattle later this afternoon. Kevin O'Connell now in at quarterback for New England, making his second appearance. Played against Miami back in week 3. Hands it off to the fullback, Heath Evans. O'Connell, third-round draft pick out of San Diego State. He's thrown 4 passes this year, completing 3. Of course, started the season as the third quarterback, and then with the injury suffered by Brady, moved up a notch.
Well, he's smart. He'll do exactly what Matt Castle did. Matt Castle learned from Tom Brady. He has an opportunity, Kevin O'Connell, to learn from Tom Brady and now Matt Castle. And who knows how much longer Matt Castle is going to be a Patriot.
On 2nd and 7. Pass is caught by the former Buffalo Bill, Sam Aiken. His 8th catch of the year, but he loses 2 yards. Matt Castle hopes that Howie Long's halftime prediction comes to fruition.
You know, everybody automatically assumed that Matt would be, highly sought after in free agency. And then when you sit down and meet him and talk to him, it is going to be very, very hard for Scott Pioli and this organization to keep Matt Castle here, because as impressive as he is when you watch him on film and at the stadium, when you actually sit down and talk to him, you're even more impressed.
I agree. Pass intended for Slater, and of course the story well documented. Matt's dad passed away prior to last week's game against Oakland. He left the team, threw a career-high 4 touchdown passes in the game against the Raiders. His mom, by the way, Matt's mom, an Emmy award-winning set designer out in California. And his brothers, professional pitchers. Jack Castle pitched in 9 games for the Houston Astros. Justin in the White Sox system. Only the second punt today by Hansen. Now the fair catch was called for by Roll, and then it was Breston who fielded the punt. You don't see that very often.
Let me make the decision for you.
Early fourth quarter in the snow, 47-0 Patriots. Coming up next, the second game of our Fox doubleheader. Many of you will see the Eagles and the Redskins, or the Falcons and the Vikings. Leinart, inside handoff to Hightower. Falcons and Vikings, big game this afternoon, including the top 2 rushers in the entire league.
Matt Ryan getting a lot of attention as a rookie quarterback down there for Atlanta, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that Michael Turner was number 2 in the NFL rushing. No, he was having a good season, but that was surprising.
After backing up LaDainian Tomlinson in San Diego, a fluttering pass by Leinart, and the catch is made on his back for a first down by Tim Hightower. Gain of 14 on the play.
Good adjustment, good ad-lib by both Tim Hightower and Matt Leinart. Protection breaks down, he's out in the flat, turned the ball up the sideline. Little scramble drill executed in the field.
Leinart, the slant, Fitzgerald. A first down, second catch of the game for Fitzgerald. Gain of 13 as we check in with Kurt.
Well, a rough finish for Tampa Bay. Jeff Garcia, bloodied and battered, stayed in the game, and maybe the blood was in his eye on this one. He hooks up with Antoine Cason. Unfortunately, Cason plays for the Chargers. He takes it 59 yards for the score. San Diego's up 41-24. If Buffalo beats Denver this week, it will set up a showdown next week between Denver and San Diego for the AFC West Championship. Kenny Moose and Goose?
Wow, so the Bucs trail by 17, in danger of losing at home for the first time this season. Leinart's pass is caught by Preston for a gain of 7. So Matt Leinart and the Cardinals moving downfield on this drive with just over 4 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter.
Well, how about Jeff Garcia? Holy cow.
The Bucs trailing. Good news for the rest of the NFC teams who are chasing wild card spots, including the Philadelphia Eagles getting ready to take on the Washington Redskins. Second down and 3. Leonard dumps it off, but Hightower could not hang on.
One of our second games this afternoon, the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons. Big playoff implications. Minnesota, if they win, wins the NFC North. And one of the guys on that Minnesota team, Matt Burke, heading up Gridiron Guardian Sunday, going to donate $50,000 to the Gridiron Greats humanitarian effort. We did it last year. They're doing it again this year. Kyle Turley was the lead guy last year. This year it's going to be Matt Burke, and he's going to have some of his Minnesota Viking teammates and some other players around the league donating all or portions of their game day salaries today to the Gridiron Greats organization. They've already done $800,000 in fundraising passed out to players in situations. It's a humanitarian effort, and one of the new additions they have a multi-million-dollar pro bono medical program offering a myriad of services, and thank you to Matt Burke for organizing that this season. For more information, you can log on to gridirongrades.org.
What a tremendous gesture by the perennial Pro Bowl center, who went to school in this area. Matt graduated from Harvard. Their catch called for, and then Falk let it bounce. Patriots take over, leading by 47. All smiles on the New England sideline. Randy Moss with a 76-yard touchdown reception earlier on his first catch of the game. Matt Castle, 3 touchdown passes. Patriot lead is 47-0 as O'Connell hands it off. Well, the Colts and Panthers have already clinched playoff berths this weekend. Panthers by virtue of the Dallas loss last night. Tennessee leading Pittsburgh 24-14, so they clinch the #1 seed of the AFC with a win today. Denver clinches the AFC West with a win over Buffalo, and Minnesota would clinch the NFC North with a win over the Atlanta Falcons. And the Giants-Carolina winner clinches home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. 2nd and 7. This is Jordan. Lamont Jordan helped set the tone early with 2 touchdown runs in the first quarter as the Cardinals are playing in the snow for the first time in 25 years. Patriots have never lost at home when it was snowing at the opening kickoff.
And there was a lot of things that kind of pointed to this game being this type of game, and that was the fact that it was snowing. The Cardinals have really struggled coming to the East Coast. New England's got a fantastic December schedule. Arizona had not played well 2 out of the last 3 weeks coming into this, but this is a shocking score to me. And I think in New England victory, but not 47-0 at this point in the 4th quarter.
Patriots will keep their playoff hopes very much alive. They will travel to Buffalo next week, and the Patriots have won their last 10 games over the Bills. Dolphins and Chiefs are tied at 31 with 5 minutes remaining as the Patriots will punt here. Cardinals know they're in the playoffs. They clinched 2 weeks ago by virtue of a weak NFC West this season. Cardinals 5-0 within their division, and they will host a playoff game in 2 weeks after finishing up the regular season next week against Seattle.
I'm going to show you something right here. Here's Mike Vrabel. Now he started his career as a special teams player. He's out there right now playing the end spot on the punt team because of injuries, because it's what's best for the team. He's a Pro Bowler, does a little bit of everything that the Patriots ask him to do, and here he is out there jumping in because they're down in numbers on the punt team. And we had a great conversation with Bill Belichick this weekend about team and the process of what he goes through, and it all comes from his experience while he was at the Naval Academy. We came in and I said, hey, I have a hello for you from Roger Staubach. Was in a meeting with him this week, and he made me promise to say hello to you, and we started talking about Navy. And when Bill Belichick was there, when his dad, Steve, was the coach, he was about 11, 12 years old when that 63 team was playing football. They finished 9-2, number 2 in the final AP poll. That's his model of what a team should be like. And really, I mean, it's probably one of the greatest teams, you know, that has ever been assembled, not just at the Naval Academy, but really when you look at what all those guys did after they left the academy. We all know what Roger Staubach did, but one of the people that both Roger Staubach and Bill Belichick talked about was Tom Lynch, who was the captain of that team, and called him probably the greatest leader he has ever met. And yeah, Tom Lynch, 31 years, a distinguished service for the Navy, retired in 1995 with the rank of Rear Admiral. He was the commander of the Eisenhower Battle Group and Operation Desert Shield, actually the superintendent of the Naval Academy from 91 to 94. And all these guys from that class did that. So Bill Belichick's model of what a team really should be is kind of based on that 1963 Navy team that was so outstanding. And I think, you know, he carries a lot of those principles with his approach. And I mean, you're talking about a team that has, you know, won 3 out of 4 Super Bowls in that span. And you know, my group with Dallas did it. The New England Patriots were able to pull that off. And you can't do that unless you have a great team and you have great players within that team. So I thought it was absolutely amazing that when you talk about a model and how you base the concept of team, Bill Belichick automatically goes back to probably one of the greatest groups ever assembled at the Naval Academy.
One of the things Belichick told us about that group, they all keep in touch via email.
On a weekly basis. Talking to Roger Staubach, I think he said that there's like 15 admirals.
Run it to Fitzgerald. And Larry Fitzgerald dives for the end zone. Touchdown. The Arizona Cardinals are finally on the scoreboard. A 78-yard pass play from Leinart to Fitzgerald.
That's a nice throw. Bill Belichick now real happy. All coaches, especially those with a defensive background, want that shutout. Ellis Hobbs in coverage. Just beat out. He's kind of waiting on the hitch, waiting on the curl route, and Larry Fitzgerald just keeps on going by him. But that ruins our nugget that we had for everybody today. Kenny? Should we tell him anyways?
Go ahead. It's all you.
We were looking at the first time that Kurt Warner ever would have been shut out as a starter in his career in the NFL.
I doubt he was ever shut out in the Arena League.
Yeah, I don't. Does anybody get shut out in the Arena League?
I'll throw it right back at you. Longest pass of Leinart's NFL career, longest reception for Fitzgerald in the National Football League.
There we go.
78 yards. So the Patriots lead is now 47-7. Darrell talking about that 1963 team at the Naval Academy. He mentioned Bill Belichick's late father, Steve. He was on the staff at the Naval Academy for 33 years. And Bill grew up in Annapolis as an 11, 12-year-old. Spent a lot of time around that 1963 club.
Right, and you can tell the impact that it had on him, and that's where the discipline comes from. I mean, listening to the Arizona player, you know, we've got to match the discipline that New England plays with. They're not penalized. You know, they very rarely make mistakes. They're always doing their job, and all of that comes from the experience that Bill Belichick had at the Naval Academy while his late father, Steve, was head coach.
The Dolphins have taken a 7-point lead over the Chiefs.
What's that?
4:08 remaining in Kansas City. Remember, the Dolphins and Jets will play each other next week. Again, the Patriots win the division with 2 wins. A win today and a win next week in Buffalo. And a loss by both Miami and the Jets. They would reach as a wild card with 2 wins and a Ravens loss to Jacksonville.
Talking about the Ravens, Moose, at the game last night. You want to talk about that at all?
What happened in that game?
on me.
Here's Hobbs.
I'm going to wear my jersey for a whole week.
We had a hat. It was a hat.
Yeah, but I just extended it.
Moose, the former Cowboy. Goose, the former Raven, with a bit of a wager on last night's game. And
you know, I should, because the fact that there was 148 yards after contact given up on the last 2 rushing plays, I should wear your jersey all week long.
You should.
I really should. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable.
what,
For the last game ever to be played in that stadium, too.
yeah, what I wanted to ask you about, Darryl, your biggest memory of Texas Stadium.
I always go back. Well, I had my, my first touchdown was there against the Miami Dolphins. My favorite team growing up is a little guy, so that was kind of cool. But I always go back to the opening game of the season against the Washington Redskins in 1991. We ended up losing the game 31-30, but it was kind of the game that gave us the confidence and the belief that we could play with some of the good teams in the NFL. We were coming off of a 7-9 season the year before. We're 1-15 the year before that. And that game, Hank Williams Jr. was there. He actually sang the Monday night theme in person. And it was, it was as an emotional, as an electric experience I've ever had in Texas Stadium. So that was always one of my favorite games ever played there.
Moose, we both lost our first stadiums we've ever played in.
How about that?
The RCA Dome was imploded. I think it was yesterday or the day before. And Texas Stadium now, no more Dallas games in it. So.
The RCA Dome in Indianapolis, as we check in on the Dolphins and the Chiefs with Kurt.
Yeah, you know the playoff implications for New England. Miami, they need Miami or the Jets to lose somewhere along the way, but Miami not cooperating. They take a late lead on an Anthony Fasano touchdown. Less than 4 minutes left in Kansas City. Dolphins up by a touchdown. Kenny, Moose, and Goose.
All right, thanks very much, Kurt. You know, Darryl, you mentioned Hank Williams Jr. singing at Texas Stadium. Goose mentioned the Dome in Indianapolis. When Goose was a member of the Colts, he had a brief singing career. Did you know that?
I've heard about it.
Here's Lamont Jordan.
And fortunately for me, I'm trying to get into the Christmas spirit here. It's getting close to the 25th.
Would you
Goose, can you help me out with that at all?
Would you guys like to take a listen?
Yeah, let's hear it, Kenny. Let's see what you got.
Merry Christmas. We wish you a
not
Merry
bad.
Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings to you.
What do you think, Moose?
I like the backup singers.
The background singers. I put my own couple lyrics into this. Check this out. Get ready, man. You ready?
You don't want to put Pete through that, do you?
Come on, man. You better put my lyrics back on. I'm going to come in the truck there.
First down.
Pete Macheska.
First down for Sammy Morris. That was Goose's Christmas music back in the 90s as a member of the Indianapolis Colts, as the Patriots and Cardinals are approaching 3.5 minutes remaining. New England leading 47-7. And the Dolphins 38-31 over the Chiefs. Jets and Seahawks will get underway shortly. Cardinals headed to the playoffs despite losing today for the 4th time in their last 5 games. Morris again running behind the fullback Heath Evans as we check in with Kurt.
Well, the seeds are set atop the AFC. Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers couldn't get it done in Tennessee. This is Michael Griffin picking him off and taking about 83 yards for the score. It's 31-14 with 16 seconds left. So that means Tennessee will go to 13-2 on the year. They will be the #1 seed in the AFC. Pittsburgh will be the #2 seed, regardless of what happens next week. Back to Kenny Moose and Goose in New England.
All right, thanks, Kurt. So congratulations to the Tennessee Titans, the #1 seed in the AFC.
A lot of questions out there about Tennessee and who they played and if they were really deserving of their first seed. Moose, I'll tell you, the Steelers are no joke, and they went out there today and beat them to go and get that first seed. You've got to congratulate those guys.
Absolutely, absolutely. Maybe a little bit of doubt creeping in the last few weeks for Tennessee, so that's a huge win against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is an excellent team.
This should take us to the 2-minute warning, as Bill Belichick will now start thinking about the Buffalo Bills. And he will be watching the scoreboard later this afternoon as well. 2 minutes remaining in Foxborough. Patriots by 40. Tomorrow at 9, 8 Central, don't miss the Prison Break fall finale. Every covert plan, every double cross, every shocking revelation has all been leading up to one unbelievable moment. The Prison Break fall finale tomorrow at 9, 8 Central on Fox. Viewer discretion is advised. Great job by all of the members of our crew who have braved the elements here today. There's Win Bernfeld, Tim DeRoyne, Michael Trains, Dan Gibbons. There's Hardy Klunder, Jim Martins, Mike Porta, Mike Ratus, Mark Sataropoulos, and Peter Stefanison, our cameramen who have been out in the snow along with Goose today and his producer Lou Tribbiani. Thanks to the guys in the truck who we hope are keeping warm. Our producer Pete Macheska, director Michael Frank, associate directors Fran Morrison and Jeremy Green, associate producer Chirag Devaskar, our technical producer Dan Rotante, technical director Chris Castro, senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown. The executive producers are Ed Gorin and David Hill. Thanks to Dave Corris, Ben Boma, Matt Banovic, and Ricky Camps as the Patriots run out the clock. Tim Dunn providing the terrific audio today. Game 2 of our Fox doubleheader. Coming up next, Eagles and the Redskins, Vikings and the Falcons as the Patriots raise their record to 10-5. The playoff-bound Cardinals drop to 8-7. 345 yards in the air, 3 touchdown passes for Matt Castle. Cardinals now 0-5 on the East Coast. Patriots 10-0 in Foxborough in franchise history in snow. So for Darryl Johnston and Tony Siragusa, this is Kenny Albert saying so long from Gillette Stadium. Patriots win it 47-7 over the Cardinals as we send you west. Here's Kurt Menefee.